Hey, I'm Tessa from Cohesive Horsemanship, and I had a request from one of my awesome students to show a quick video on how to do the figure 8. So I'm going to just do that really quickly here with a horse that hasn't done it yet. But he does have the 4 basics down, so he knows how to move his shoulder, he knows to move his hind, he knows how to go forward, and he knows how to go backwards. If you guys want more on that, I would look up cohesivehorsemanship.com and maybe join Cohesive Club. So having those 4 basics are going to help him be successful with this, even though he hasn't done it yet. If a horse doesn't have those 4 basics and you try this, you might find it to be a little bit more difficult. So here what I've done is I have 2 cones. They're about 8 steps apart, and I'm just bringing him around, and as he comes around the one off to whatever side I am, I start backing as straight as possible away from the cones. So you'll see me back up as he comes around here. I'll switch my hands, and then I'll push the shoulder over and push him through between the 2 cones, and then send him back around. And here as he comes around again, well, not at this point because we are going to move our cones and make this a bigger figure 8 so we can try it at the trot as well. But the goal here is think about pushing your horse through the cones away from you, not towards you. I think that's one of the pitfalls of the figure 8 that make it difficult. So here I'm going to do it so that I'm not backing towards the camera, so you have a different angle on it. You can see I backed up, and then I'm coming forward and pushing him between the 2 cones. And as he comes around this far cone, I'm going to start backing up, switching my hands, and inviting him to come in front of me and between the 2 cones. So the figure 8 can be a really useful pattern to teach your horse to change eyes. So you're always going from the right to the left eye or from the left to the right eye, and it teaches your horse to be comfortable with you on both sides and accept that pressure as you come forward to go between the 2 cones with comfort and not get reactive to that. So here I'm going to try it at the trot, and you'll see that at the trot, Drover here, this young horse, is a little bit more hesitant. He's not quite as sure exactly what I want. And here when I back up, he doesn't stop right away. So I have to really help him turn and change his eye and come forward in front of me between the 2 cones. So when you first start this exercise, you're not going to expect your horse to maintain that trot through the whole exercise. They're going to have to ask you questions every time they turn around and see what you want. As they become more and more comfortable with this exercise, then you can start asking them to maintain that gait, and then maintain tempo, and then maintain bend, and slowly you start really working on balancing your horse using this simple exercise. So this is a good one. This is one I use a lot for young horses. It again teaches them to accept pressure and to understand pressure and come off of that and move their shoulder and their hind as they need to. So here I'm rewarding him with just a nice pause. I felt like it was getting better, so I let him relax, let him stand there for a little bit, and then I'll give him a little pat to really reward him. Here, what I'm doing is I'm letting him kind of think about it, and you may have seen him lick a little bit, and then I'll pet him, and then I'm going to just start moving the stick around, the stick and string, over him and around him. And it's not so much that I'm desensitizing him, it's that I want him to understand the different intention in my body. So here, when I'm just moving the stick around, my intention in my body is calm and playful, maybe a little bit, but very comforting. I'm not asking him anything. I just want him to just relax and see if he can understand that when my intention and when my body language is off, I'm not asking him anything, even though the stick is doing a lot of work and it's got a lot of movement. But it's not meant for him to just start moving away from it really quickly or doing anything. We're just relaxing, even though there's a lot of movement in that stick. So this teaches him to pay attention to my body language and to my intention as we work through this. For him to be successful at this, obviously I have to be aware of my intention and my body language, which is one of the harder things to harness as somebody working with horses, and part of that timing and feel that's so important to be successful. And there I changed my body language, I changed my intention, and I didn't have to move the stick much for him to go off at a trot in a circle so that we can understand each other. And now again, I'm on the other side of the cones towards the camera, and I'm just going to ask him to trot a little bit of a figure 8 as we go around. And you can see here he's asking questions every time I have to change his eye. And in the beginning, that's awesome. And there he felt really soft, so I'm going to just let him relax and process that success. So he's licking and chewing, and it's perfect. So if you want more of these kinds of exercises, look up Cohesive Club. Go to cohesivehorsemanship.com. I have a monthly club with monthly exercises.